Hello, children. You are in for a little treat today because these stories are very short. I thought it would be a lovely idea if I read you 2 stories. The first one is called Carrie the Climber, and it's about some cats and kittens. Carrie's brother Ben had climbed up to the tree house in their garden. "I want to climb up too," said Carrie. But Ben pulled up the ladder and said, "No, Carrie, you can't come up." "You're too small to climb the ladder," said Dad. "It's a little bit too high," said Mum. But Carrie was determined to climb up to the tree house. And here we have Daddy and Mummy and the brother in the tree house. Oh, very happy little family, isn't it? So when no one was looking, Carrie went to the shed and pulled out her play chair and her plastic toy box. "I'll be big enough to climb up now," she said. She climbed onto the box and then onto the chair. "I'm nearly there," she said, and gave a little kick. But the chair slipped and fell with a thunk onto the grass. "Help!" cried Carrie. "I'm stuck!" Ben looked down and Mum looked up. Then Dad ran as fast as he could to the bottom of the tree. He reached up to Carrie and said, "Hold on to me." Soon Carrie was safe and sound back on the ground. "It is important to listen to what we say," said Mum. "Sorry, Mum," said Carrie. "But one day I'm going to be a very good tree climber." Everyone smiled. "We know you will," they said. And here's the happy family with Mummy and Daddy with Carrie in his arms and big brother Ben climbing down the ladder. And what are cats good at? Yes, climbing trees. Mind you, they can't always get down safely, can they? And they have to have help sometimes from us humans. Carrie wouldn't do that. She'd be good at it. I'm sure she would, wouldn't she? Don't you think so? The next story that we're going to read is called Well Done, Leonard, and it's about a family of lions this time. And here we have the lion family. We'll find out who they all are in a moment, shall we? A stranger had come to live at Leonard's house. Mum said it was Leonard's baby brother, and he was called Charlie. Dad said that Leonard was a big brother now, and it was a very important job. So now we know who they are, because here's Dad and Leonard and Mum and Charlie. One day, Mum was busy cleaning. The vacuum cleaner whirred and crackled and made a terrible racket. Charlie woke up and began to cry. Mum couldn't hear and Dad couldn't hear, but Leonard could hear. He ran into the living room and tugged at Mum's arm. "Charlie's crying," he said. So Mum went to give Charlie a cuddle. "Well done, Leonard," she said. "Well done," said Dad. "You're a very good big brother." As a special treat, Mum and Dad took Leonard to the park. He slid down the slide and whirled around on the roundabout. "I can't wait for Charlie to be old enough to play with," said Leonard. "Being a big brother is the best thing ever." And here they are at the park with Mum and the baby with the pram, and Dad with Leonard coming down the chute or the slide, whichever you prefer to call it, and the roundabout is here, and everyone is having a lovely time. Tell you what, just because you've been so good listening to this story, I'm going to give you an extra one as a special treat. This one is called Bubbles Learns to Swim. Bubbles wanted to swim with his friends, but every time he tried, he just kept sinking and blowing big watery bubbles. "I don't like swimming," he said, splashing about in his spotty armbands. "Swish your arms and kick your legs like me," said Dad. But when Bubbles tried, water shot up his nose and into his ears. "I hate swimming," he spluttered, which is very unusual because, let's face it, Bubbles is a duck. Everyone else had a lovely time swimming in the pool. Alex and Sammy were whizzing down the water slide. "Come on, Bubbles," they said. "It's great fun." Bubbles felt very cross. "Swimming's rubbish," he shouted, kicking his legs and swishing his arms angrily. Then suddenly, Bubbles began to move. "Bubbles, you're swimming!" cried Dad. "Keep going!" Soon Bubbles was able to swim right across to his friends. "Well done, Bubbles," they cried. It wasn't long before Bubbles was having fun on the water slide too. "Yippee!" he cried as he went splash into the water. "I love swimming." And here he is with his little pink armbands coming down the slide into the water, and all his friends are there to cheer him on. But just in case anything does go wrong, we have the lifeguard here to save anyone who's in trouble. So now we'll leave it for today, otherwise I won't have any for you for the next time, will I? Don't worry, we've got a few more yet. Goodbye, children. See you next time.